Welcome to Rock Solid Productions, where in this episode we are going to look at the GCHD, that's right, GameCube High Definition from EON Gaming. Hey everyone, Gary here with Rock Solid Productions, and it's not hyperbole when I tell you there have been few items that I've had on this channel that I've been as excited to review and test out as this guy here. This is the GCHD, or the GameCube HD, and what it's designed to do is to make your video output from your GameCube look a hell of a lot better than this. This is just using the standard cables that the GameCube that we have playing right here comes with. Now you can spend $200, $300, $400 on those stupid expensive GameCube cables on eBay. But what this does is it uses the onboard digital output of your GameCube and lets you use an HDMI cable to connect it to your modern TV. You don't have to rewire anything. It's a plug and play solution. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna open the box, we're gonna see what comes in the box, check out the instructions, and kind of see how it looks in some initial tests. Now, this is just a first look. We are going to be doing some in-depth analysis, reviews, whatever you want to call it, of this in future videos. So one of the things I know people will ask is, yeah, you can buy this for the cost, which we'll cover in a little bit, but I can just get a Wii in one of those Wii to HDMI adapters and it does the same thing. No, it doesn't. Let's take a look. All right, so we have both our Japanese Spice Orange GameCube and our standard North American GameCube here. I'm gonna set both of them aside for right now because really what we're interested in is this bad boy here. And there's just two small pieces of tape on each side, which I honestly should be cutting away from me, not towards me. Now, the reason why we have both GameCubes here is I've actually yet to finish my modifications on my Japanese GameCube to make it region-free. So Adrian at Live Action Games in Champaign was kind enough to loan me an extra GameCube so we can show you guys how this works. So the moment of truth here comes with a very tiny instruction manual in here and walks you through the installation. There's an IR sensor that you can utilize to get to the menu and everything. Very simple, straightforward, and that's their copyright. And this is the gorgeous little beauty right here. And what's unique about this is the fact that it plugs into both the standard audio-video output port along with the digital port. We'll show you that in a moment. And what that does is it just provides a more secure connection and provides some strain relief. So set the box aside for now, and we'll grab our purple GameCube here. Now, to be able to use this adapter, your GameCube needs to have both the digital AV output and the analog AV output. If it only has one of them, and later models only had one port, just the analog AV output, this will not work. So please be aware of that if you don't have both of these ports, it's not going to work. So this is as simple of a plug and play installation as you get. Get everything lined up. It's installed. Your HDMI cable comes off on that side. And talking to the guys from EON a little bit, one of the reasons why they did this is they felt, first of all, having both ports plugged in provides additional strain relief, so you're not putting undue strain on that digital AV output port. Second of all, by having the HDMI come out on the side, same thing, it eliminates strain because you don't have all that weight back here. And again, this is the button you use to sync it with, pretty much my understanding is any TV remote should be able to be synced to this. So that's how it plugs into that one, using the handle to set it aside because that's what the GameCube handle is there for. Here's our Spice Orange one. Same setup, get everything lined up. Slide it in. Now, one thing too, you may be better off putting it like this and then pushing straight down, because you should have an audible click when it's all the way in. You do kind of have to push hard. You can kind of see the pressure on my thumbnails here as I push it in. It's a very tight fit. And there are both sides just clicked in. And hopefully you can see here above the exhaust grate and everything, it's a pretty flush setup when everything is plugged in. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to check the manual to see how we can use the IR sensor and whatnot so that we can program everything and access the menu. And we're going to do just a few games just to get an idea of how this works. So one of the games that I originally bought the GameCube for, really, was Star Wars Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 3. I loved those series of games. So of course it makes sense. That's going to be the game we play first to see how it absolutely looks on here, because I am so geeked and jazzed about it. Do I want to play the game in progressive mode? Yes, of course I do. Wow. Just on the opening screen there, seeing the stormtroopers, that's really sharp. Wow. This is impressive, folks. This is really impressive. It's interesting the way everything is kind of shrunk down. I mean, it's not even a 4:3 aspect ratio. It is 16:9, but it's shrunk down on my screen. Definitely interesting. Now, you know, you guys probably won't even notice that because I'm going to crop in on this in the post-processing, but something to be aware of. Wow, is that sharp? Look at the detail in that X-Wing. I know normally I edit out just like dead space, so I'm going to leave that in just so you guys can... I'm really in awe of this. This is pretty flippin' cool. Now again, it changed resolutions there. Look at you having 4 there. Wow. So you have Luke as Red 5 and you have his 2 wingmen. And what you can do is you can actually assign your wingmen different tasks. You can assign them to go after the guns, assign them to form up, or assign them to flee. So I'm not going to bother doing that. I will cancel that. Now, one of the cool things too on this is, unlike Battlefront 2, my cannons on my X-Wing do not overheat. I don't have to cycle them. I am just floored at just how amazing this looks. I wish, honestly, that I could sit here and play this game all night as good as this looks. So again, I'm just gonna go past the surface here. We'll go past some guns. Look at that. That's just... I've never seen this game look this good. All right, we've got some bogeys right there. Stay on target. I am absolutely in love with what the GCHD is doing, and this is just the first game. I really don't want to switch to something else because this is so great. I love this game. It's one of my favorites of all time. And we are going to move on to an amazing shmup, and that is Ikaruga. So Ikaruga is one of those games that I got to give credit to the guys over at GameSack for, because I had never heard about it, and they had talked about like hidden gems and whatnot, and this is one of them that they had talked about, and man, it's pretty amazing. Now this did not give me an option to start in progressive scan. Now the thing on here I want you to keep an eye on is the detail in the background, because there is so much going on here that it is absolutely ridiculous. Exceptional shmup with, you know, amazing difficulty level. Oof, missed one there. In some ways, the way that the backgrounds and whatnot are done, it reminds me almost of FZero, quite honestly. Just look at the scaling that's going on here. I mean, it's just, wow. And again, thanks to Joe over at GameSack for bringing these to my attention, because it's a gorgeous game, and it's a great shmup. Oh, and I died. Now you can press A to flip your weapons that you're using. Oh no! Now one of the things too is the weapons that you are getting shot at by, so if I flip around, I can not be damaged basically by the color of the ship that I am at that time. You saw I was kind of flipping around. So now that just the black ship is left, I can take all the hits from the black ships and I'm fine. Now the white ships, it's a different story. See there, I just took it like a champ. I mean, look at the detail on the side there and everything. That's pretty flippin' cool. All right, here's our first boss. Well, I got some pretty good damage on him there. I've only got 87 seconds left. All right, flip to the other side. Oh man, this is tough. But man, so gorgeous! Ah. So next we are going to move on to FZero GX. On the Super NES, one of my favorite games on the system was the original FZero. One game I've never owned for the GameCube until recently is this one here, FZero GX. And it's kind of weird that this is a game that was made by Sega. And it's also a game that is 60 frames a second. Yes, I want progressive scan. I want all the scanning. Wow. Are you seeing this? Look how sharp that looks. This is something you could release today like this on the Switch and people would say, damn, that looks good. And no, that's not hyperbole. I think you could release this on the Switch and people be perfectly happy with it. Now, never played it before, so I'm gonna go to Novice, FZero Ruby. Okay, so that's straight out of the original game. We'll do Captain Falcon. Oh, that's cool. You can adjust your speed and everything. All right, I want a little bit more acceleration. Wow, does this look great. All right, so A is throttle, that's definite. And yes, L and R do help. Oh my goodness, this is amazing looking. Wow, this feels amazing. Okay, my jaw I know is open right now and I probably look like an idiot, but I can't believe, so I have an HDMI converter for my Wii. I've had it for a long, long time, just because I wanted something that would look better than component or composite cables. And I had been okay with the way that those looked, but man, I mean, I'm not doing as well on this because I'm just trying to look at all the backgrounds and everything. Okay, I finished 4th. We gotta try that one more time because, well, 8th. Wow, that was tougher than I thought. Better start there, up to 22nd. Oh, okay. So in the Super NES version, you're always up against, oh, well that sucked. You know, your 4 primary opponents during the first lap, and then the extra cars came in after that. No, here you're up against all of them from the get-go. Running 10th, 9th. All right, just took the lead. Oh, got through that one without an issue. Look at the background. I mean, that's again one of the things. Look at the background detail and how sharp this looks. Now, like I mentioned, we will have more videos coming of this, and one of the things I plan on doing is doing side-by-side comparisons between the standard cables and this cable, along with the HDMI output on the Wii, to see how that looks too. All right, the US version, I'm like, this is awesome. I'm gonna hook up the Spice Orange Japanese GameCube I have, and we're gonna throw in some Luigi's Mansion. So I have to admit, I feel a little wrong playing my Spice Orange GameCube with the purple controller. And we're gonna go into Luigi's Mansion, playing at 60 frames per second. How cool is that? Look how sharp that looks. And vibrant too. Now, it does have kind of a square edge on the pixels here. And you might be able to do some softening and whatnot with some of the different tools built into it. But man, this looks great. You know, again, the blacks look super sharp and everything. The detail on Luigi looks fantastic. I will say that this is probably one of my favorite. Now granted, it's a Luigi game. Probably one of my favorite Mario games of all time, because it's that genre, it's that family of games. Man, I am blown away at how good this looks. I've never had the super high zoot cables that you can get. Like most of us, you know, didn't have those. Look at the detail in his glove there. But I have had the HDMI adapter for the Wii for a while, and it doesn't look this good, I'll tell you guys that right now. But I mean, this is the best that I have seen the GameCube look ever. Look at Luigi there, just how sharp he looks. He looks really, really good. Now, it's not Mario Odyssey quality. I'm not gonna go that far, but he looks really sharp. We'll catch a few ghosts here and see how it works. Got him. Oh, it's a lunker. Got another one. There we go. Come on. There you go, fat boy. Who am I to talk, right? Luigi's Mansion on the Spice Orange GameCube looks great. Now, you may or may not have noticed, but we got this Game Boy player on the bottom of our machine. Let's see how the Game Boy games look too. Now, if you've watched the channel lately with any of the reviews that we've done with some of the Super NES clones, you know that I've used the Super Game Boy player on there. Now, with that though, it does not play Game Boy Color games. The Game Boy player for the GameCube absolutely does. So we're gonna go to English. Wow, this actually looks really, really good. I've never played this on a color screen before. I've only ever played it as, you know, on a black and white Game Boy, and for what this system is, it actually looks really good. Uh-oh, Diddy died. Let's throw in another one real quick too. Let's actually throw in a Game Boy Advance game too, because that's one of the things on this player is the fact that you can run Game Boy Advance games. So one of my daughter's favorite games growing up, well, not that she's that old now, but when she was younger, for her pink Game Boy Advance that you guys have seen on the desk is the original Sonic the Hedgehog. So I figured it would only be right to try some Sonic the Hedgehog, a Sega game, on the Game Boy Advanced, or the Game Boy player here for the GameCube. This game is definitely not up to the speed that the regular Genesis version is, I will say that much. The color and the sound, ooh, you dirty rotten. Color and sound and everything look, you know, pretty solid on here. The great thing about this is you can inexpensively expand your library of games, and there's a ton of awesome Game Boy Advance games out there. A little bit of slowdown there. And yes, there is a version of Earthworm Jim for the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Advance SP. It's also interesting just to play a Game Boy game using an analog stick. Man, color me impressed. Let's wrap it up. So at the end of the day, what do I think of the GCHD? Well, it depends on the type of gamer you are. I'm going to put that out there first and foremost. If you're like me, if you have your original GameCube or you have recently gotten into GameCube collecting, if you like the imports like I do, if you just want to have the best possible picture out of your original equipment, this is the best way for you to experience the Nintendo GameCube that I have ever played. Now, I haven't tried any of the other mod kits, throwing that out there. Just for full disclosure, this is the only HDMI upgrade I have tried for my GameCube, and I'm floored at how good it looks. It looks amazing. I love the fact it's so simple too. It is plug and play. You put it into the back of your GameCube, you connect your HDMI cable, and you just play your games. Now, for those of you who, you just play occasionally and you just want to be able to experience it and you want something a little bit better than playing through the standard AV cables, what a lot of people will do is pick up one of the original Wii's that, yes, I do have a decal kit on it to make it look like an NES. Nerd. The original generation Wii had your ports for GameCube controllers and for GameCube memory cards. And you can get this guy here. This is the Wii to HDMI adapter. The thing is, this is taking an analog signal and basically converting it to HDMI digital. And it does an okay job, but it's still not a great picture. I would honestly say that the high-end AV cables almost look better than this. But you can get a Wii for cheap, and you can hack it and put the homebrew channel on. I mean, you can get a Wii with this adapter for less than half of what this GCHD adapter costs. And that's one of the downsides I will say about it, is it's expensive. It's really expensive. It's half the cost of a Nintendo Switch expensive. It's $150. Now, I'm gonna tell you in a minute how we can save you some money on it, but still, $150 for this adapter. The only other ones that I've seen run about $50 less, but they are being made one-off with 3D printed cases. The final product, I haven't seen them in person, only seen pictures on the internet. The final product does not look as polished or as nice as this setup does. If you are a hardcore gamer who loves the GameCube, you need this. You really do. If you're one of those type of people where you will go out and buy extra GameCubes just because and look whether or not it has the digital port to see whether or not you want to buy it, you need this adapter. If you are a hardcore Super Smash Brothers player, get into tournament fighting, things along those lines, you need this adapter. If you're a casual fan who's going to occasionally throw in Super Mario Sunshine or throw in Rogue Squadron or things along those lines, this may be a little bit more than what you need. But if you are looking for the best way to experience GameCube, so far, this is the best way that I've experienced GameCube. These are just my opinions though. I want to know what you think, and we've got a lot more coming. So first and foremost, make sure you stay subscribed to the channel. We are going to do some shootouts between my Wii with the Wii to HDMI adapter and the GCHD. It's a valid comparison. We need to see what the differences are on there. Stay subscribed to the channel. That way, anytime we have new content, new reviews, how-tos, anything we release, you stay up to date with everything that's going on there. The other thing that you can do too, make sure if you have any questions about the GCHD, about the GameCube itself or retro gaming in general, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I want to hear your questions. I want to know what you guys want to see in this. Again, I'm going to do a couple more videos on this. It's really cool. We're going to do live streams with it. Again, stay subscribed. That way you keep track of when we're doing that. Leave us a comment down below. Send me your questions to rocksolidmail@gmail.com, Twitter @RockSolidStudios, as always on Facebook, facebook.com/RockSolidProductions. It's the best way to get a hold of me. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to know so we can try to answer your questions for you. Finally, if you do want to go ahead and help support the future of Rock Solid Productions, you can do so by helping us out on Patreon. Just head on over to patreon.com/RockSolidProductions. solid, and for as little as $1 a month, you get early access to our videos that we have out there. I cannot thank Ryan at CastlemaniaGames.com enough. He is the one who actually sent us this GCHD adapter for us to do this review on. Please do me a favor, if you are on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, at Castlemania Ryan, that is his Twitter handle, or head on over to facebook.com/CastlemaniaGames. Thank him for sending us this. I am eternally grateful for his help. Again, Ryan, thank you so much on this. And on the Purple GameCube, head on over to Live Action Games on Facebook, facebook.com/LAG217. Thank Adrian for giving us this as a loaner. We will be dropping this back off at the shop tomorrow, but he did loan me this GameCube, so we had a US one that we could test the games out on. So the GCHD, I'm just infinitely impressed with how good the video looks, and I cannot wait to do some live streams with you guys, to play this more. You can't hide this kind of enthusiasm. I'm really jazzed about this. I hope it comes through. I hope you guys appreciate the video. Let me know what you think. This is the GCHD from EON. I'm Gary from Rock Solid Productions. Thank you for watching. I will see you very soon.